surprised my cheating wife with divorce papers at her secret hotel getaway affair. I never thought I'd be typing these words, but here I am at 2 a.m. with a glass of whiskey and the shattered remains of what I thought was a happy 8-year marriage. 3 months ago, I was planning our anniversary trip. Today, I handed my wife divorce papers in room 718 of the Westlake Hotel while her boss scrambled to cover himself with the bedsheets. Sorry for the wall of text. I need to get this off my chest. For context, I, 37M, met Sarah, 35F, in graduate school. We were both studying business administration, both ambitious, both determined to build something meaningful together. I fell for her intelligence, her drive, and that infectious laugh that could light up even the dreariest lecture hall. We dated for 2 years before getting married, and for 6 years, things were good. Not perfect, what marriage is, but good. Sarah landed a job at a prestigious consulting firm 3 years ago. The pay was excellent, but the hours were brutal. She started traveling more frequently for work, sometimes gone for 3 to 4 days at a time. I supported her career wholeheartedly. I have my own software development business that I run from home, so I had the flexibility to keep our household running when she was away. The first sign that something was off came about 7 months ago. Sarah started being strangely protective of her phone. She'd take it to the bathroom, keep it face down at dinner, password protected with a new code I didn't know. I brushed it off as work stress, client confidentiality and all that. Then came the late night client calls that she'd take in the garage or backyard. The sudden interest in her appearance before regular workdays. The new lingerie that somehow never made an appearance in our bedroom. The declining intimacy between us, always explained away with "I'm just exhausted from work" or "I have an early presentation tomorrow." I'm not proud of what I did next, but after months of gnawing doubt, I checked our phone records. Multiple calls and texts to the same number, often late at night or early morning. The number belonged to Robert, her 45-year-old boss. Married with 3 kids, still, I needed more evidence before confronting her. Maybe they really were working on an important project? I started paying closer attention. Sarah told me she had a 3-day conference in Chicago next week. Curiously, when I was doing our monthly budget, I noticed a hotel charge on our joint credit card for a reservation at the Westlake, just 30 minutes from our house. Who books a hotel for a conference in another city, then stays locally? I called the consulting firm's main office, posing as someone interested in attending the conference. "What conference?" the receptionist asked, confused. "We don't have any corporate events scheduled next week." That night, Sarah packed her suitcase while telling me about all the networking opportunities at this fabricated conference. She kissed me goodbye the next morning with a smile that now seemed hollow. "Don't wait up for me tonight," she said. "We have dinner with the keynote speaker, then drinks after." I gave her a 3-hour head start, then drove to the Westlake. At the front desk, I explained that I wanted to surprise my wife with champagne for our anniversary. The young clerk, a romantic at heart, confirmed that Sarah was checked into room 718. "Would you like me to provide a key, sir? I can put a note in the system that you're joining her." "No need," I replied. "I want this to be a complete surprise." I bought a bottle of champagne from the hotel bar and took the elevator up, my heart pounding so hard I thought it might crack my ribs. Standing outside room 718, I heard laughter, her laughter, the one I fell in love with, followed by a deep male voice. I knocked. Room service. Shuffling sounds. Whispers. Then Sarah's voice, slightly breathless. "We didn't order anything. Complimentary champagne for valued guests, ma'am." A pause. More whispers. Then the sound of the bathroom door closing. Sarah opened the door wrapped in the hotel bathrobe, hair disheveled. Her expression shifted from annoyed to horrified when she saw me. Behind her, I could see 2 wine glasses on the nightstand, men's shoes by the bed, a tie thrown over the chair. "Jake," she whispered. "What are you?" I pushed past her into the room. "Where is he?" "This isn't what you think," she started, grabbing my arm. The bathroom door was closed. I pounded on it. "Come out, Robert. Your wife Melissa might want to know where you are right now." Sarah's face went ghostly pale. "How did you?" The bathroom door opened slowly. Robert emerged, still buttoning his shirt, his wedding ring catching the light. "Now, listen, Jake, let's be reasonable adults here," I cut him off. "Adults?" Is it adult to sleep with someone else's wife? Is it adult to lie to your family about where you are? Jake, please, Sarah was crying now. We need to talk about this privately. There's nothing to talk about. I reached into my jacket and pulled out the manila envelope I'd brought. Here's your surprise, Sarah. Not champagne. Divorce papers. I tossed them onto the rumpled bed. I've already moved half my things out. I'm staying at Mark's until I find a place. You can reach me through my lawyer. I turned to Robert. I have screenshots of all your texts and calls. I'm sure your wife and the HR department would find them fascinating reading. Robert paled. There's no need to involve Melissa or the company in this personal matter. Personal? I laughed, though it sounded hollow even to my ears. You made it my business when you started fucking my wife. Sarah was fully sobbing now. Jake, please. It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. Those words hit me like physical blows. If it didn't mean anything, that's even worse. You threw away 8 years for something that didn't mean anything? I walked to the door, then turned back one last time. By the way, I called your parents. They're expecting you at their place when you check out. I couldn't bear the thought of you coming back to our home, a home you clearly didn't value. I left them there, stunned into silence. In the elevator, an elderly couple smiled at me kindly. Visiting family, the woman asked. No, I replied. Just finishing some unfinished business. The drive home was a blur. I packed the rest of my essential belongings and headed to my friend Mark's place, where I'd arranged to stay temporarily. He didn't ask questions when I arrived, just handed me a beer and put on a mindless action movie that was 3 days ago. Since then, my phone has exploded with texts and calls from Sarah. Tearful voicemails begging for another chance. Messages explaining how lonely she'd been, how it had only been going on for 4 months, how it was just physical. As if that somehow made it better, her parents called too. They've always liked me, and they're devastated. Her mother told me Sarah showed up at their doorstep in tears, but they aren't exactly sympathetic to her situation. We raised her better than this, her father said gruffly over the phone. Friends have taken sides. Most are supportive of me, horrified by Sarah's betrayal. But her work friends have been spreading a different narrative, that I was distant, workaholic, that I drove her to seek comfort elsewhere. It's amazing how people can rewrite history to justify the unjustifiable. Yesterday, I met with my lawyer again. The divorce should be straightforward since we don't have children, and both have our own incomes. We'll need to sell the house, split the assets. 8 years of building a life together, reduced to dollar figures on a spreadsheet. Robert apparently took a sudden family leave from work. Word got back to me through a mutual acquaintance that his wife kicked him out after receiving an anonymous email with screenshots of some particularly explicit texts between him and Sarah. I didn't send it, but I can guess who did. Sarah's assistant at work, Jen, who had apparently suspected the affair for months and felt disgusted by it. She called me yesterday to apologize for not saying something sooner. I didn't have concrete proof, she explained. And I was afraid for my job. But what they were doing to you wasn't right. The strangest part of all this is that despite the anger, despite the betrayal, there are moments when I miss Sarah terribly. 8 years is a long time to share your life with someone. I keep having these absurd impulses to call her about mundane things, a funny video I saw, a new restaurant I passed, a movie she'd enjoy. Then reality crashes back into last night. I removed my wedding ring for the first time. It left a pale band of skin, a physical reminder of what's been lost. I placed it in a small box along with the few photos I took from our home, our honeymoon in Costa Rica, hiking in Yellowstone, silly selfies from road trips. Maybe someday I'll be able to look at them without feeling like I've been gutted. But not today. I know this is for the best. I could never trust her again. Every business trip, every late night at work, every text message would trigger suspicion. That's no way to live. And yet part of me wonders if there was something I could have done differently. Some way I could have been a better husband. Some warning sign I missed years ago. Sarah keeps saying it was a mistake, that she wants to go to counseling, that we can rebuild. People overcome affairs all the time, she texted yesterday. Maybe some can. I can't. Not after seeing her in that hotel room. Not after all the lies. So here I am, starting over at 37. Dating apps and empty apartments and trust issues to last a lifetime. But you know what? Even with all that ahead of me, I feel lighter somehow. The constant suspicion, the checking of phones and making excuses for odd behavior, that was its own kind of prison. For those who've been through something similar, how did you rebuild? How long did it take before the knot in your stomach went away? Does the person you once loved ever become just a neutral memory instead of an open wound? To anyone suspecting their partner might be cheating, trust your gut. It knows before your heart is ready to accept it. Thanks for reading this novel of misery. Writing it out has been strangely cathartic. Tomorrow I'm looking at apartments, then meeting with a therapist in the afternoon. One foot in front of the other, right? TLDR, wife had an affair with her married boss. I surprised them at their hotel rendezvous with divorce papers instead of the champagne the front desk thought I was delivering. Now navigating the wreckage of what I thought was a happy marriage jetted, holy SHT, this blew up overnight. Thank you all for the supportive comments and DMs. I can't respond to everyone, but I'm reading them all and they're genuinely helping me feel less alone right now. To address some common questions, *1. Yes, I've already changed all my passwords, bank accounts, etc. too. No, I don't want to try reconciliation. Some things can't be fixed. *3. To those suggesting revenge scenarios, I appreciate the creativity, but I just want to move forward with dignity. *4. To those who shared similar stories, I'm incredibly sorry you've experienced this pain too, but thank you for showing me there's light at the end of this tunnel.